China tech giant Tencent may soon be Asia's most valuable company. It already ranks #2 with a value of $249 billion. It's just 4% smaller than Asia's current biggest firm, China Mobile, which has a market cap of $259 billion. Now, Tencent stock has gained a third just this year, but so has South Korea's Samsung, making the electronics giant bigger competition for regional top spot. Both firms have some of the world's best performing stocks this year, but critics say the dramatic rise in stock price shows how vulnerable the companies are to public opinion. Still, experts say the market has big expectations for both firms, which are growing despite a global slowdown. For more on Tencent's rapid rise in value this year, we're joined by Rebecca Fannin. She is the founder and editor of Silicon Dragon News. Rebecca, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So, Rebecca, Tencent has overtaken Alibaba to become China's most valuable tech firm. The last earnings showed profit rose by 47% to $1.6 billion in the second quarter. Rebecca, what is driving all of this growth?
Well, a lot of it has to do with their leadership in mobile messaging and also in gaming. They are the leaders in both of those sectors in China, and both of those sectors are fast-growing markets, and Tencent is the leader. So they are really capitalizing on their leadership position, and they are also getting into other areas besides gaming and messaging and going overseas and acquiring companies. So Tencent is a company on the move for sure.
You mentioned mobile messaging. Tencent's WeChat has more than 800 million users. And what's interesting, Rebecca, is that it's used socially as well as for corporate communications. Chinese office workers are actually sharing files through WeChat instead of using email, and people in China are asking for each other's WeChat ID during business meetings. So how has it managed to dominate both office and social messaging?
I think that's a very good crossover for Tencent, and it really had monopolized the whole chatting personal, person to person. But now crossing over into the corporate world is a major development for them, and it's going to continue to help them to surge in growth. And getting into the corporate sphere is just a giant leap forward. And I'm seeing it with many of my China contacts, both personal and in business world. They cannot live without WeChat. It's just a necessity.
Well, what are they doing? Why is WeChat so dominant? Like, what is unique that WeChat brings to the party?
Well, it allows for peer-to-peer communications and private. And it's easy to create group chats. You can create whole conversations with many, many other people, like-minded people around a specific topic. So that has caught on, and I think WeChat has also gotten into mobile payments, and it's gotten into other kinds of functions, like you can call up a taxi, for instance, or a car, for instance, a Uber or Didi, for instance, with WeChat. So it's used for banking as well. So it's very multi-purpose.
Right.
And yeah.
Right. WeChat and QQ, the other messaging app that Tencent owns, to your point, both offering services like online payments, ride-hailing, food ordering, music streaming, all in one app. So, Rebecca, why do you think non-Chinese companies like WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger have not adopted this model, and do you think they will?
Well, the payments issue has been more problematic in the U.S., and I think we're dealing with a different regulatory situation. So I think as soon as that's sorted out, we'll begin to see these companies moving into payments as well as into the corporate side, which is, going to be a huge moneymaker. If WeChat can get that right, and these other companies like WhatsApp and Facebook can get that right, that's just where the money's going to be pouring into.
Right. Well, Tencent diversifying, it's invested in dozens of startups recently. It led an investment round in STX Entertainment, that is the distributor for films like Bad Moms. It's also got a partnership with NBA to stream games in China. So, Rebecca, what's the strategy there? Content is king?
Well, yeah, content is king, and Tencent is diversifying, and it's going overseas. So Tencent acquired Riot Games, which is a mobile gaming company right here in LA. Tencent acquired SDX Entertainment, another company here in LA. So Tencent is getting into Hollywood and getting into other areas like movies and Hollywood. So this is just the beginning of a whole entertainment strategy for Tencent.
We're talking about Hollywood and in the US, and what's interesting is that out of China's 3 internet giants, Tencent is the biggest, but it's still the least known in the West. Alibaba and Baidu certainly have better brand recognition. Why do you think that is?
Well, Alibaba has Jack Ma, the most charismatic Chinese leader that there is, and he's just a wonderful spokesperson for Alibaba. And Pony Ma, the leader of Tencent, is a very publicity-shy kind of person. So Tencent shies away from media, unlike Alibaba, which loves media. And Baidu is probably in the middle of those two.
Well, as Tencent looks to expand in the US, how important is it that it gets bigger brand recognition, and what can it do to make that happen?
Well, I think WeChat will be the brand that helps Tencent become the highly recognizable brand in the West. And many people are getting used to using WeChat here in the West, and it's spreading very rapidly. And so I think WeChat will help Tencent. And WeChat is a name that's actually made specifically for the Western audience. It was originally called Weixin in China and changed to WeChat in the Western audience. So it's a very well-known name. It's very easy to pronounce. People understand what it is. A little bit like Alibaba, open sesame to e-commerce. So Tencent has WeChat, which will be its leading brand in the West.
All right, let's see when it catches on. Thanks so much, Rebecca Fannin, founder and editor of Silicon Dragon News.